Christopher Columbus discovered the Cayman Islands by accident on the 10th of May 1503. The three tiny islands of Grand Cayman, Little Cayman and Cayman Brac offer some of the best diving experiences in the world. The three islands lie 150 miles south of Cuba and 180 miles west of Jamaica in the Central Caribbean. We will be exploring the dive sites around the largest island of Grand Cayman. The island is just 22 miles long and 7 miles wide. Grand Cayman is famous for the 7-mile beach, which actually is only 5.6 miles long. The beach is well protected and plays host to all manner of sports, including diving. However, there have been times where ships have been unlucky enough to flounder on the rocky shores of Grand Cayman. Most of today's visiting ships now bring passengers to visit the island, boosting the economy, especially the tourist trade. The Cayman authorities have limited the number of cruise passengers coming ashore to 5,500 per day. Still, most days up to 5 ships anchor close to Georgetown, the capital city of Grand Cayman. The Cayman Islands enjoy a tax-free status and is the 5th largest financial centre worldwide. It has 560 licensed banks, 380 insurance companies and over 31,000 registered companies. It also serves the holiday tourist well, with tax-free shopping and a vast array of t-shirt and clothing stores, and restaurants to suit everyone's budget and taste. On the island tour, look out for hell. The landscape is said to be how people believe hell will look in the afterlife. You can also buy a postcard with its own stamp and send a postcard from hell to your friends back home. The Pedro St. James restored house will take you back to the 19th century. You're also likely to come across the blue iguana. It gets its name from the blue tint on its neck and head, and is a native of the islands. One of the island's most visited tourist centres is the turtle farm. Thousands of green sea turtles are bred here, and a good proportion are released back into the wild. The turtles lay their eggs on the homemade beach. The eggs are collected and then hatched, and then the animals are kept for several years. They even have a siblings tank, where you can carefully handle the baby turtles and get really close. About 50 mature turtles are kept on to carry on the breeding program, and they certainly seem happy with their lot. But the best way to see turtles is in the ocean, so let's get under the sea and begin our own tour of the wonders of the undersea world of the Cayman Islands. Thanks to the Cayman Turtle Farm and their release program, encounters with turtles are frequent in the Cayman Islands. Turtles' main diet is jellyfish. They don't have teeth, but a very strong beak like a bird. Many turtles die each year as they mistake plastic bags and bottles for jellyfish. The plastic bags block the gut and they die. The way to tell sea turtles apart is the size and position of the plates on their shells. The most common species in the Cayman is the green turtle. They are not named for their external coloration, but from the colour of their body fat. Turtles spend almost their entire lives in the sea. They have developed with more than just lungs for breathing. They are also able to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide with the surrounding water. They can dive to great depths, and by reducing their metabolism dramatically, turtles can stay submerged from between 40 minutes to 5 hours if they're not too active and the water is not too warm. The angelfish family is well represented in the Caribbean waters. The French angelfish, distinguished by its yellow-edged scales, is by nature inquisitive. They approach divers, come in close, and remain in the area, watching your every move. This behaviour is not displayed due to fish feeding or protecting eggs or juveniles, but appears to be straightforward curiosity. Most French angelfish, when reaching maturity, pair up with the opposite sex and stay with their partner for the rest of their lives. Closely related to the French angelfish, the grey angelfish exhibits many of the same behaviours, and although not as colourful, they are equally inquisitive. Queen angelfish are considered by many to be the most beautiful reef fish in the Caribbean. They get their names from the blue spotted crown on their foreheads. Most queen angelfish frequently seek shelter during the day and are somewhat shy towards divers. But at the aquarium dive site, there are several individuals who appear to adopt their cousins the French angelfish trait of closely approaching divers. It is also unusual to see more than one pair at a time. A single male patrols a harem of females, visiting each one in turn. Barracuda often get mistaken for small sharks. They certainly have a menacing appearance. They have elongated bodies, two widely separated dorsal fins and a forked tail. The head is pointed and the mouth large, with a projecting lower jaw with long, sharp teeth. Here, this barracuda is visiting a cleaning station for a regular removal of parasites and of dead skin. The great barracuda is easily distinguished from the other common species by the scattered dark markings along the body. Filefish, also known as leather jackets, are so named as the scales are covered with small hairs which give the surface a rough texture like a file. This is a scrawled filefish that can change colour to match their surroundings. Our next filefish is the white-spotted filefish, easily recognised due to its extended belly appendage. Now this is a rare find. It's a pygmy filefish. It's only about 2 inches long and very difficult to find, although this one was trying to blend in with some fairly small fire coral. They are fascinating to watch. They will allow a fairly close approach if taken slowly and cautiously. Like all filefish, the pygmy fish is a master of camouflage. Just look at how she changes colour when she moves from the fire coral to a neighbouring feather coral. The Caymans are a haven for all kinds of photography. This pillar coral is unusual as it feeds during the day as well as the night. The Pedersen cleaner shrimp is obsessed by cleaning. It waves its long, white, very thin antennae to attract passing fish. It will, with a little patience, be enticed onto a diver's finger to give it a thorough clean. Of course, the dead skin is a meal for the hard-working shrimp. Lots of dives in the Caymans provide swim-throughs through tunnels, overhangs and crevices. Care should be taken not to kick up the sand as you fin along, which could reduce the diver's visibility behind you to nil. These overhangs and crevices provide the perfect daytime resting place for one of the Caribbean's most spectacular and shiniest of fish, the tarpon. Tarpons school by day. Large schools may inhabit a specific area on a reef for years, where they can reliably be observed actively feeding at night. Tarpon is a silvery fish that can grow up to a length of 8 feet. They have a distinctive upturned mouth and a single dorsal fin. The scales are so shiny that when the light catches them they seem just like a mirror. Wrecks are plentiful in the Cayman Islands. Some have met their fate here and some sunk deliberately to make man-made reefs. These wrecks provide shelter and home to a number of species. Our next family of fish, the groupers, are to be seen on all wreck sites. This is a tiger grouper hiding in the wreck. You can see he's been in a recent scrape from the wound on his forehead. Our next grouper is the black grouper. He's undergoing the change from the intermediate stage to the terminal stage, and the colouring is highly unusual. In a few short weeks he will be totally black. The Nassau grouper has 5 irregular olive brown bars over a dark green background. Here a Nassau is at a cleaning station for a regular removal of parasites and dead skin. The Nassau grouper has 2 very distinctive markings. First is the yellow tips to the dorsal fin spines and the black saddle spot on the base of the tail, easily seen here on a juvenile fish. The sunsets in the Caymans are spectacular, as is the nightlife under the sea. Great care must be taken whilst night diving not to startle creatures like turtles, who with a bright light shone directly at them could easily take on water and drown. Fortunately, the bright video lights we use provide a background light and not a solid torch beam. The bright lights from divers' torches show up the plankton and minute life not normally seen during daylight hours. Lobsters start to come out of their crevices in search of food. Also here is a honeycomb cowfish. And this strange creature is caught in the light of a diver's lamp. This banded butterfly fish seems a bit disorientated as he bangs himself into the rocks, while this juvenile 4-eyed butterfly fish searches for food. This intermediate stage stoplight parrotfish settles down for the night. It's time to ascend again, ready for our next dive tomorrow. Although not plentiful, nurse sharks can often be seen. They rest on the bottom, often under ledges or crevices. They can filter water through their gills at rest, while most other sharks have to keep moving. Nurse sharks can be identified easily by their two dorsal fins. One of the Caribbean's saddest looking fish is the soapfish. Their upturned mouths and big eyes make them look permanently unhappy. They get their name from the soap-like toxic mucus they secrete from their scales. Parrotfish are one of the most common species on coral reefs. This is a queen parrotfish. The midnight parrotfish starts off life more or less the same colours, which he remains all of his life. However, the stoplight parrotfish goes through two changes before he reaches what's called the terminal phase. Here, in the intermediate stage, the stoplight parrotfish is dark brown with a red belly. The change is dramatic, with emerald greens, salmon to yellow markings and a dramatic tri-coloured tail on the terminal phase stoplight parrotfish. Parrotfish get their name from the fused plates instead of teeth, which are just like beaks. They use their beaks to scrape algae from coral. One of the cutest fish is the spotted drumfish. Even more cute is the juvenile spotted drum. The juvenile has a distinctive, very high front dorsal fin and a black spot on the nose. Most drumfish will find an overhang or crevice and stay there, swimming round and round in circular patterns, and they only leave their lair at night to feed. They get their name from the drumming sound that they produce, which is caused by the vibration of special muscles that are attached to or run close to the swim bladder. The muscles contract and expand at about 24 contractions per second, which when amplified by the bladder produces the drumming sound. Stingrays are a feature of the Cayman Islands. The yellow stingray is not as common as other species, but is more colourful than most. It has numerous yellow spots and the snout and tips of the wings are rounded. Stingrays lie on the bottom with their eyes and gill openings called spiracles clearly visible. The most common species of stingray in the region is the southern stingray. You may occasionally see a single barjack who appears to be following a southern stingray. What the barjack is doing is shadow feeding. The barjack follows the stingray everywhere it goes. What's in it for the barjack? Well, when the stingray settles down on the sandy bottom and starts to flap its wings, it digs down to find food. As the stingray flaps for food, the barjack collects tidbits. Then they're off again, with the barjack keeping very close in the slipstream of the stingray. Here again we have another stingray and barjack. This stingray has obviously been in a recent scrap, judging by the scars on its back. Stingrays are quite harmless. They have one or two venomous spines at the base of their whip-like tail, but unless you step on the spine in shallow water, they rarely use the spine, even in self-defense. One of the biggest attractions for divers in the Caymans is a visit to Stingray City. On the way out, the crew cut up frozen squid, which the divers will use to feed to the stingrays. The story goes that Cayman fishermen, returning after a good catch, would shelter behind the sandbar, where the cleanings from their fish would attract the local stingray population. Diving skippers soon worked out that the stingrays would gather whenever boats arrive, and the stingrays became tame to the point of becoming one of the best tourist attractions in the world. The dive instructor spends several minutes explaining what's about to happen, how the stingrays will react, and how to feed them. Diving and snorkeling are both welcome on this adventure, and people can't wait to get into the water. As soon as you're under the water, the stingrays arrive, gliding in like a squadron of stealth bombers. Other fish have worked out there's a feeding session going on and also want food, like this porcupine fish. Stingrays have a dark, tough topside, very much like sandpaper, but their underside is white and silky smooth. They don't have teeth, but very large plates to crush mollusks. They also have a very powerful suck. You can easily play with them for a few seconds before rewarding them with some squid. If you don't like close encounters, then Stingray City, nicknamed the best 12-foot dive in the world, is probably not for you, as the stingrays do like to get in close. Another resident on the sandbar is Kermit, the green moray. Morays have very poor vision, but a very good sense of smell. Feeding morays should only be done by an experienced instructor, in case the short-sighted moray can't see which bit to bite. Now it's time to leave Stingray City and the Caymans, and I hope you will join me for another Diving in the Caribbean adventure very soon.